Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these cute beaded rings using size 11 seed beads. So this is what they look like. Really simple to do and really fast as well. So let's get started. So to make one of these you're going to need some size 11 seed beads in two colours. So for this I'm using this bright copper and a teal colour. You will need your thread. I'm using 6-pound fire line in crystal and a beading needle, and this is a size 12 beading needle, size 12 John James beading needle. That's everything, so let's get started. Okay, so I've threaded my needle and then we're going to start by picking up one of your outside colour, so that is going to be your metallic colour that goes around the edge of the circles. Start by picking up one of those and slide that down until it's about, let's see, 5 inches from the end of your thread, and just hold it there. And then picking up one of your second colour, so we're coming out of the top of this bead, you're going to take your needle up through the bottom. Oh, she says, like that, holding that in place between your thumb and your finger while you pull it down so that it stays 5 inches from the end. So pull that all the way around until you have this, and then from the top of this bead you're now going to go through, down through that second bead we just added. So now we have this. Now we're picking up another one of our second colour. So this time we're coming out the bottom of this bead, so you're going to go round and go down through the top so that you're creating that loop. And this is ladder stitch that we're doing. So we have this. Now from here you're going to go up through the one you just added. You pull it through, pull it nice and tight, and you should have this. Now we're going to pick up another of the first colour bead. Coming out of this one on the top, you're going to go round and go through the bottom. Pull that through. So you have this. Now from here you're going to go down through the one you just added. So now we have this. Now we're coming out the bottom of this one on the end, you're going to go up through the next one along to the left. Pull in that nice and tight to make sure the beads are all nice and close together. Now we're going to pick up two of our second colour and go down through the next one to the left. The next one in the middle. Just make sure that they stack nicely like that. And then picking up two more of that same colour. Coming out the bottom here, you're going to go up through this bead right next to it in the same colour. Again, just make sure those beads sit nicely and there's no loose thread. So now we're coming out of here, you're going to move down through this bead on the end. And then you're going to pick up 6 of your first colour. And from here you're going to go straight up through the one of your first colour on the other end. So we have this, and then picking up 6 again of that first colour. And from this one you're going to go all the way over and down through the same colour bead on the other end. So there's our middle row of 4 that we started with. So just through that one, you don't want to go down through any of the ones underneath, just through that one. And if this loosens off, it doesn't matter, it'll pull tight when you pull this through, so just make sure you pull that all really tight, and you should have this. So now we're coming out of this bead here on the bottom. We're going to pick up one of our first colour and go back into the bead that we're coming out of, but on the opposite side, keeping that pulled tight. And then you're going to go up through that bead that you just added. Next, we're going to pick up one of our second colour bead, go up into the bead that we're coming out of, so into it on the opposite side to where your thread's coming out, and then back down through that bead you just added. This is the same as the ladder stitch that we started with, so picking up another one of that second colour, going back into the bead that we're coming out of but on the opposite side, and then back up through that bead that you just added. And then finally picking up one of your first colour and going up through that bead that you're coming out of, and then down through the bead you just added. Okay, so then just make sure they're pulled nice and tight. Now from the bottom of this bead you're going to go up through the next one in the middle. Pull that tight. And we have this. Now you're going to pick up two of your second colour and go down through the next second colour bead to the left. Make sure they sit nicely, and then picking up two more and going back up through that second colour bead to the right. So we have this. Now down through this first colour bead on the end, and then you're going to pick up your groups of 6, so 6 of your first colour. Coming out of the bottom of here, you're going to go around to this first one on this end, so we're working in groups of 4 every time, so the first one of this group of 4, and going up through there, and then picking up 6 more of your first colour. Coming out of this end, you're going to go down through that first colour bead right at the other end of that group of 4 in the middle. And then you want to pull that really tight. So now you have this. So then you're going to add your next first colour bead in the same way as before, so going back into that bead that you're coming out of on the opposite side. Keep everything pulled nice and tight, and then back up through that bead you just added. So you have this. Now you can carry on doing this. So now you're going to add your 3 other beads for this group, and then add your extra rows like we do on both of these, and keep going doing that same thing until the ring fits around your finger and it's the length that you want, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've got to the length that I need for my ring. So once you've got to that stage, so just measure it around, just make sure it's going to fit, and then making sure it stays flat and doesn't get twisted, you want to fold it in half like this, holding onto your tail thread so that it's out of the way. So you should be coming out of that end bead of your last little group of 4 down the middle. So I'm coming out of this side of that one, so I'm going to go into this one here on the front. You need to find that middle row of 4 and go into the end bead of your first colour, just through one, like that. So I'm coming out of this side of this one, so you want to loop round and go through that side so it's not twisted. like that, and then from here back into the one on this side, but through the other side now. Make sure that doesn't get caught. And then I'm going to go through that a couple of more times to make sure that join is really secure. Okay, so I've gone through that a few times, then just want to make sure that your ring fits before you tie your knots. And then to tie your knots, you just want to, so I'm coming out of here, just turn it around this way. I'm just going to move my thread up through a couple of beads. And make sure everything's pulled nice and tight where the join is. Okay, I'm just going to move around through a couple more. And I'm going to tie my first knot here. So I'm just taking my needle through the piece so that it's going under those threads there. So we're capturing those threads within this loop. And then I'm going to go up through the loop 2 times, make sure that it's going to form a knot, pull it down nice and slowly until you feel it tighten, and then go ahead and move on through several beads. Pull that really tight and you'll see that the knot disappears inside one of the beads. I'm going to go ahead and tie quite a few knots so that this ring is nice and secure. And then you want to thread your needle onto your tail thread and do the same with that. And before you cut your thread, make sure you've moved far away from where you tied your last knot so that it's less likely to come unravelled. So once you've finished, then that is how the ring, so then once you've tied off your knots, that's you all finished. So this is how it turned out. So I'm really happy with this, how this turned out. I think I'm going to make a matching bracelet to this, so you would just carry on going longer and longer to make the bracelet and then add a clasp at the end. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you're able to make one of these rings. Please comment down below anything else you'd like to see, like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed to see more of my videos, and you can follow me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah. Thanks so much for watching everyone, see you next time, bye!